Let's do exercise number 2. We're gonna write a program that calculates the sum of positive whole numbers. So whatever number we write here, we have to calculate the sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to that number. And then clear option should clear the text field. So let's start with the design first. Maybe a menu strip. There we go. And file, clear, and exit. Then we need text box, label, and a button. Text box, button, and a label below. The button should say sum, so let's just select it and start typing sum and press enter. Let's have a look at the program and see how it works. Okay, it should say sum and colon. So let's start typing. Select the label and type SUM colon, enter. And then when we enter a number, for example 5, you should say sum colon and then the answer. Okay, and clear. So let's do the exit first. We remember that it's this dot dispose and always the parenthesis. Clear should clear the text, so we only have one text box. That's text box 1 dot text should be equal to an empty string. That's the only thing we need to do. Let's try this and see if it works. So now we can just enter any number here and then choose clear, and we can clear the text field, and exit works fine. Now the only thing we need to do is do the functionality behind the sum button. And first we have to get the text from the text box, convert it into a whole number, an int, and then we can start creating the loop and the sum and everything. So let's take care of that. Int number is equal to int parse. This is how we change a text string and parse it into an integer. So text box 1 dot text. This is a string, and then we parse it into an integer and then save it in this variable number. So if I enter 5, number will be 5. Now we can create another variable sum and set it to 0. This is the sum that we need to calculate, and then we need to do a loop. So I'm gonna do a for loop. I'm gonna start at 1, not at 0, because that's the first number, and then as long as I, which is the counter, sorry, I missed I, that's here, I is less than or equal to the number we entered, which can be found in the variable number. And then we're just gonna add I with 1 every step in the loop, and that's done by I++. Let's add the bracket. So what are we going to do in this for loop? Well, if we enter 5, for example, I is going to go to, I is the counter, I is going to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, and then 6, we're not going to continue, we're just going to jump out and we're finished. So we have to add I, or what's inside I, to the sum. So this is done by writing sum is equal to whatever it's inside sum, and then we add I to it. So sum is equal to sum plus I. And then the last thing we need to do is to write out the sum here, because we want to see the result. So label 1 is the name of the label, dot text, and we want the text to be sum colon and then space, and then we want to add the sum at the end. So we add this sum variable. So let's try this. I'll enter 5 and then click sum, and it's 15. 6 should be 21. 7, we add 7. 28. 8. 36. Another number, and the sum is this. So it seems to work fine. Maybe if we are not very comfortable with the loops, we should review how to create a for loop and maybe even a while loop.